Let's get ready for history class.
Welcome to History 1301. Today we will start our discussion with the age of abolition. Each student is hereby assigned one topic for independent research on this subject.
Let me research a little bit on this topic. Let's read the book.
How do, Miss Susie? I hear you're aiming to learn a bit about me. What is it that weighs your mind, child? Speak your piece.
Oh, wow. Yes, I would love to know more about you.
My story is one of hard travel, ma'am. One that ought to make a body scratch his head. It was Peter Blow who held me in the start, and when he passed, I was sold over to Dr. John Emerson, an army man. That's how I came to live Missouri, a slave state, and go with him. But then we crossed the line into Illinois, a free state, and after that further north to the Wisconsin Territory. Now you hear folks talk all the time about how the law stands in those places, that if a master brings you onto free soil, the chain is struck off. The air itself makes you a free man. I lived on that free ground for 4 long years, child. You would surely think that after all that my freedom was just mine, that the law would simply look at the facts that I had stood where slavery was not allowed and say, this man is a man and he is free.
Yes, absolutely, because there's no way a free state would promote slavery.
But the law, it seems, has a heavy fist and a closed mind when it comes to a man of my color. That's when things took a beautiful turn for me, and I met Harriet in Wisconsin. With the grace of Lawrence, who sold Harriet to Emerson, we were able to get married and started creating a family of our own.
Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. I wish you lived a bright future with her.
Things haven't ended the right way, dear. The rest of the story is a symbol of my fight against slavery. When the doctor's widow, Mrs. Emerson, brought me back to Missouri and refused to sell me my freedom, I went to the courthouse. I had to know if the years I spent standing on free soil counted for anything at all. That is the question that's been wearing on my soul for all these years.
Did you file a complaint against your owner?
I did, friend. I did. I went to the court in St. Louis back in '46, and I filed a suit for me and mine. My claim was simple. You take a slave to free soil, he is free, and no one can take them freedom back from him. And after 4 years of waiting, of that case winding its way through the papers and the halls, the word finally came down. We had won! The judge said we were free. My wife, my children, and me. For a time it seemed like the right thing. The just thing had finally been done.
Is that your happiest ever after moment, sir?
If only it were that simple, child. But the world's a cruel twist of fortune. The Missouri Supreme Court came along and threw out that fine ruling from St. Louis. They snatched back the freedom we had just been granted, and we were made slaves once more. But a man can't just quit when his children's future is on the line. A kind abolitionist lent us a hand, and we filed a new suit, this time in the federal court. Irene had left Missouri, and so we were passed over to her brother John Sandford, who now claimed us. That suit, God willing, went all the way up right to the highest bench in the land, the Supreme Court. That's where it all sits now.
Then what happened? Were you able to get freedom finally?
I had to face a trial against Sandford, which is what everyone remembers in the modern time.
I believe I heard my name. Sandford is the name. And what matter is it that concerns you? Speak clearly, if you please.
Oh, it's you who wanted to enslave Dred Scott forever.
Girl, what foolishness are you spewing? He is not but a piece of property. And I ask you, since when can a cow or a wagon bring suit against its rightful owner for rights it does not possess? He has no rights under the Constitution. The only right he has to exist at all is through the provision of his master. Without us, they are simply nothing. It is a matter of law, not sentiment.
Oh, I don't seem to like you. How can you be so mean? I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
Susie, child, where did you wander off to in the middle of our talk?
Nothing. There seem to be some mean people out there in the world.
Now, where was I in my story? I recollected plain as day. When my case stood before the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Taney sat at the head. I held on to hope that he'd be a man of God's justice, a messiah to pull me from this living prison. But when the decision finally came down, child, it was a bitter defeat. He stood with the majority and ruled against me and my family. He declared that I had no right to even ask for justice, seeing as I was a slave, and therefore I'm not a citizen under the law.
Greetings to you. I've heard the good news myself, and I must confess, it gives me a measure of satisfaction. The court has finally spoken plainly. The Negro has no rights which the white man is bound to respect. This decision, it settles the matter once and for all. It is the rightful interpretation of the Constitution, and I am pleased it has clarified the true status of that property. It is for the peace of the Union, I say.
Where did you appear from? Go away. I hate you.
You keep slipping away on me, child. Where is it you're going?
Nothing. My computer seems to have a problem. Can you please continue? Sorry for the interruption.
And with that, he handed down a ruling so powerful, so deeply wrong that it tore the very heart out of this country. It was the most divisive ruling this land has ever seen, a judgment that set brother against brother. He said, African Americans are not citizens, and the Congress shall not ban slavery in any of the U.S. territories. It made these United States a burning living hell for every single colored soul. But then the good Lord moved upon the hearts of the Blow family, the children of my first master. They took pity, bought me and my family back from Mr. Sandford's folks, and in May of '57, they signed the papers and gifted us our freedom. After all that bitter struggle, after that hard-hearted ruling, it was their goodness that finally broke the chain.
I never thought history would make me so sad. I really got to know a lot about you and the life you had, sir. It really was enlightening. I'm happy that you got the happy ending you deserved. I hope you all learned something with me.